A very common question we get relates to injuries on the job. Why can't I just sue my employer? My employer was negligent. My employer knew this was dangerous. So many things the employer knew or should have known, and I was hurt on the job because of my employer. You can't sue your employer in Arizona almost ever. Not never, but the exceptions are very rare because that's what workers' compensation was created to avoid. Under workers' compensation, there's a give and a take. The give is, even if it was your fault that you were injured on the job, even if the employer did nothing wrong, you have a workers' compensation claim that can be made. Very often, ought to be made through the best workers' compensation lawyer you can find, but not always. That's your right. You don't have to prove anyone's at fault. Whereas with most claims, if you hire me as an injury lawyer, if I can't prove somebody's at fault, we don't have a claim. On the other hand, you give something up, and what you give up are some of the rights that you have under injury claims that can be more valuable and can fully compensate you much more than the partial compensation you will often receive through workers' compensation. But there's no magic wand here. The law was created. We don't get to make the law. We don't get to do just what we want. We have to follow the law. So if you were injured on the job, should you give up your right to pursue a claim? No, you should probably talk to a workers' compensation lawyer first. Or if you have questions about a possible injury claim, give us a call. I'll tell you a big exception. A big exception occurs where you're hurt on the job, but it's not your employer's fault. So someone driving for Domino's Pizza that has someone else run a red light and hit them, they get workers' compensation. They also have a right to bring a claim against the person who ran a red light. A common thing that we deal with here in our practice is somebody's hurt on a construction site, but it was a different subcontractor or a different employer, not their own, that was negligent and led to their injury. There's still a claim under personal injury law in those cases. So being hurt on the job does not mean you shouldn't call a lawyer and ask questions, because you should. But if you're having trouble finding a lawyer to bring a lawsuit against your own employer, that's why.